Sofia Vasilievna Kovalevskaya was born in Moscow in 1850. Her mother, Elizabeth Fedorovna Schubert, comes from a line of scholars of German origin. Her father, General Krukowski, has a strong passion for mathematics. Very proud of his two daughters, he encourages their education. The eldest, Anna, will choose literature and political activism. Young Sofia is passionate about mathematics. Instead of wallpaper, the walls of her room are covered with pages from a math book. Sofia doesn't understand their meaning, but the formulas deeply fascinate her. Her parents reveal to her that nature is governed by immutable rules. Mathematics is a secret language that allows us to unlock its mysteries. As a teenager, she quickly surpasses her tutors. Under the influence of her older sister, Sofia joins the Russian nihilist circles, advocating for gender equality and emancipation through education. Sofia is 18 when the Krukowski family moves to St. Petersburg, where the university is slowly opening up to women. But in 1868, Russia is shaken by the nihilist movement. Students take to the streets. Besieged, the universities are closed, and when they reopen, women are asked to remain outside. Sofia does not give up. Against her family's wishes, she enters into a sham marriage with a young paleontologist, Vladimir Kovalevskaya, to obtain a passport and the freedom to study in Europe. What was initially a marriage of convenience soon turns into something more affectionate. The young couple settles in London, then in Heidelberg, where in 1869, Sofia is granted permission to attend mathematics and physics courses as an auditor. She receives intensive instruction from leading professors and progresses at an exceptional pace. Unfortunately, the Kovalevsky marriage deteriorates, and Vladimir eventually settles alone in Jena. Sofia then travels to Berlin. The University of Berlin is still closed to women, but she seeks private lessons from one of the most famous mathematicians of the time, Karl Weierstrass. Even with her letters of recommendation, Weierstrass remains doubtful. He subjects her to a particularly challenging test on hyperelliptic functions. Sofia solves it quickly and brilliantly, providing a very original solution. Karl Weierstrass is so impressed by Sofia's talent that he agrees to give her private lessons. This marks the beginning of a fruitful collaboration. He will pass on the essentials of modern analysis to her and strongly encourage her to produce her own work. Karl Weierstrass corresponds with one of his former students, Swedish mathematician Gösta Mittag-Leffler, founder of the prestigious journal Acta Mathematica. He is full of praise for his new recruit. During this period, Sofia will write 3 major papers on partial differential equations, abelian integrals, and the rings of Saturn. Today, partial differential equations are used, among other things, in the analysis of wave propagation, mechanical vibrations including vibrating strings, electromagnetic waves, and thermodynamics. In modern engineering, abelian integrals are a valuable theoretical tool for solving complex problems in electromagnetism and optimizing telecommunication systems. Unfortunately, despite the support of her eminent professor, the University of Berlin refuses to allow her to submit her thesis because she is a woman. Sofia is bored and disheartened. In 1871, Paris is ravaged by a bloody civil war. True to her nihilist commitment, her sister Anna now lives in France. Her husband, Victor Jacquard, is one of the pillars of the uprising. To the dismay of her 2 mentors, Sofia leaves Berlin to join her sister Anna on the barricades of the Paris Commune. She serves as a stretcher-bearer at the Élysée-Montmartre ambulance, while Paris is besieged by the Prussians. After the fall of the Commune, Sofia returns to Berlin to work with Weierstrass. In 1872, at the age of 22, she solves the Cauchy problem, which will soon bear her name, the Cauchy-Kovalevskaya theorem. This theorem, which governs partial differential equations, remains essential for modeling the behavior of fundamental physical constituents. Today, these applications range from fluid dynamics to sound propagation, and include the study of gravitational waves. In 1874, the University of Göttingen grants her the exceptional authorization to earn her doctorate, but without a public defense. Sofia Kovalevskaya is awarded the title of Doctor of Mathematics, summa cum laude, the highest possible distinction. She is the first woman in the world to earn a doctorate in mathematics, in the modern sense of the term, meaning based on original research work and a thesis. Karl Weierstrass believes that each of these 3 papers alone would have sufficed to constitute a thesis. Meanwhile, Sofia and Vladimir have strengthened their relationship and decide to return to Russia. Unfortunately, despite this academic success, the return to her homeland marks a difficult period for Sofia. Institutions refuse to recognize her title and still deny her access to university because of her gender. Exhausted and disillusioned, Sofia moves away from mathematics to pursue her other passion, literature and playwriting. She also dedicates herself to her husband's paleontology work, which will prove to be a scientific dead end. The couple invests in real estate, investments that will turn out to be risky. Vladimir gets swindled. They are soon ruined. After her father's death and an unsuccessful attempt at social and financial reinvention, Sofia goes through a period of deep personal crisis. Her two mentors, Karl Weierstrass and Gösta Mittag-Leffler, exchange extensive correspondence about their protégé's situation. What is she doing? Has she given up mathematics? What a loss for science. In 1878, Sofia is 28 when she gives birth to a baby girl, but her relationship with Vladimir is struggling. Again, they separate. In 1881, Sofia returns to Berlin with her daughter to immerse herself with Weierstrass in mathematical work, which she will never leave. At the end of autumn 1881, Sofia decides to meet Anna in Paris, hoping to meet French mathematicians. But in Paris, life is difficult because Sofia, without contacts, a job, or income, is burdened by financial worries. In 1882, Gösta Mittag-Leffler joins Sofia in Paris to introduce her to his colleagues and mathematician friends. The elite of French scientists finally opens up to Sofia, who is elected a full member of the Mathematical Society of France. Among her new friends are mathematicians Gaston Darboux, Charles Hermite, and Henri Poincaré. Unfortunately, on the night of April 27 to 28, 1883, Vladimir commits suicide by inhaling chloroform. His death profoundly affects Sofia and plunges her into a new episode of depression. In January 1884, thanks to the unwavering support of Gösta Mittag-Leffler, Sofia Kovalevskaya finally secures the position of mathematics professor at Stockholm University. Sofia commits to teaching her courses in Swedish starting in the second year, adding a fifth language to her repertoire, after Russian, German, English, and French. She becomes a private docent, an extraordinary professor, on trial for 1 year and without salary. It's the students who compensate her. Sofia is the first female mathematics professor in Europe. At the time, she is already a recognized specialist in abelian integrals. Gösta Mittag-Leffler would continue fighting for another 4 years before Stockholm University finally agreed to grant her a modest salary. Despite everything, Sofia enjoys life in Sweden, and this position that allows her to find some stability. Her students appreciate her immensely. She begins her second major work, the Kovalevsky top. The same year, Sofia is also appointed to the editorial committee of the prestigious journal Acta Mathematica, allowing her to correspond with mathematicians all over Europe. She is the first woman to hold such a position in a leading international scientific journal. Her research soon becomes known worldwide. In 1886, Sofia returns to France to discuss her work on the dynamics of rigid bodies with her mathematician colleagues. The Academy of Sciences decides that the theme of the next Borden Prize will be dedicated to improving the theory of solid body motion. Sofia decides to compete. The challenge is considerable. The competition is anonymous. 15 papers were submitted to the Academy, but one stands out so much that the jury decides to double the prize amount to reward its exceptional contribution to mathematical physics. They are unaware that this prize will be awarded to a woman. In 1888, Sofia wins the Borden Prize from the Academy of Sciences in Paris for solving the problem of the rotation of a heavy body around a fixed point under the influence of gravity. The famous Kovalevsky top will earn her international recognition. Sofia plans to stay in France, but Stockholm University finally grants her the much-coveted chair, and most importantly, the associated salary that allows her to live with dignity. Soon she receives the prize from the Academy of Sciences of Stockholm. Then in 1889, Sofia is elected a corresponding member of the Imperial Academy of Sciences of St. Petersburg. Sofia Kovalevskaya is now a recognized mathematician who enjoys international fame. In December 1890, Sofia visits Paris and Berlin to meet her mathematician friends, but she catches a cold during the trip, and soon her condition worsens. Back in Stockholm, her cold turned into pneumonia. This pneumonia took Sofia Kovalevskaya on February 10, 1891, at the age of 41, when she was at the peak of her fame. Despite a short life filled with obstacles, her scientific legacy is significant. Her study on Saturn's rings foreshadowed the analysis of planetary systems. Kovalevskaya's top solved the mystery of the movement of an asymmetrical top spinning under the influence of gravity. Today, this work helps engineers understand how objects spin in space, including satellites and space probes. From satellite stabilization to antenna pointing, space engineering uses the rotational principles modeled by Sofia to control the movement of rigid bodies. With the Cauchy-Kovalevskaya theorem, Sofia proved that precise and unique solutions can be found for certain complex equations that describe the world, such as fluids or waves. Today, these equations are used everywhere in physics, including for simulating air flows around a rocket, orbital trajectories, or planetary atmospheres. The mathematical tools developed by Sofia Kovalevskaya in the 19th century are a fundamental component of numerical simulations that enabled 20th century engineers to embark on space exploration.